That was so epic, man.
That reverb and smile at the end, that was just the best ending. That was just, uh,
That was so incredible, dude. I just I I just love the way Josephine did that beat. And then she had that little deep, 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 deep. She was doing that too somehow. The
yeah,
little keyboardy thing. Oh man. And then, Gabriella just played that melody just so smooth and sweet in there, and they were just so synced up. She would do those little expressive strums in between, and the mix was just gorgeous. It was just flawless. Perfect, 24 karat gold, man. That was incredible. I really enjoyed that.
yeah. As
It's
I was
cliche to say
listening,
it's better than the original, but damn it, it totally was, man. That video deserves millions of views, guys.
yeah,
Millions.
yeah, that was talking about if it was like the original song. It seemed like an entirely different song, you know, and even just hearing the original, first time hearing that one, and then hearing this, even though the melody was fresh, it still seemed like something entirely different. And that's really cool to transform, melody and chords like that.
Kyle,
That's
welcome to
funny.
the sound. How you doing?
Hey,
There
I'm
we
doing all right,
go.
man.
Well, now we're going to move on to my pick. I've been waiting for this for 2 days now. I saw this, and so just a quick little background. I want to do the original song first because I'm not familiar with this song. My wife, who is a Linkin Park fan, was not familiar with this title, and so I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to listen to this just to make sure we
Yeah.
have the tune in our heads. So you introduced me to Rodrigo y Gabriela. And it popped in my head, Gabriela 9797, but I didn't remember that at the time.
Yeah.
She's a different lady. She's Gabriela Quevedo, and she's a very, very good fingerstyle guitar player. And she's doing this with Josephine Alexandra, who we know is also a really, really exceptionally good fingerstyle guitar player. And so when I saw this, the first thing I thought of was Kyle. I wanna do this one with Kyle. So I have not listened to this. All I did was click on it and send the link to you, and that's it. So we're gonna start with Linkin Park official music video, "Waiting for the End," and then we will do the guitar cover by these two lovely ladies. So without further ado, Kyle and Matthew react to "Waiting for the End" official music video by Linkin Park. Here we go.
Like a riot rocket every revision, but you listen to the tone and the violent rhythm, and know the words sound steady, some empty within them. We say yeah, with fists flying up in the air, like we're holding on to something that's invisible there, cause we're living at the mercy of the pain and the fear, until we get it, forget it, let it all disappear. Yeah. Waiting for the end to come, wishing I had strength to stand. This is not what I had planned. It's out of my control. Flying at the speed of light, thoughts were spinning in my head. So many things were left unsaid. It's hard to let you all
I'm really glad I played that for y'all because I've never ever heard that before, and that was not at all the standard Linkin Park sound. It
Oh,
was
definitely.
totally different vibe than I was expecting.
It's almost like Sugar Ray advanced in 15 years in a way, even though that it seems like I'm insulting, but I'm just being descriptive.
Sugar
And that
Ray
isn't.
wanted to originally be in metal, right? And
Yeah, they were like a not really a hardcore, but that kind of like
then they
early
got
mid
rebranded
90s.
by the media company or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Well,
was
it's like they
kinda
put a
that.
drum loop on them. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, less guitar, more drum loop, and you got 90s alt pop
It
stuff.
felt like almost like Maroon 5 influence
Mm,
ish. It was very poppy, which I wasn't
yeah,
expecting, but I liked it.
yeah,
And it was mellow, and like the way that they did the rapping in it was good. There was hardly no instruments for like the longest time. It was just vocals and drums for like a
yeah.
long time. It almost was like Beatley to me. Like, and then when they came in with just the bass guitar, it was just playing that one note, but there was all the vocals and the textures and then the beat, you know. And I mean, I know the Beatles weren't exactly about big beats. I'm more referring to the way the vocals were, and
Yeah.
then the music was kind of sparse. So you throw that big beat, breaky beat, like it was doing, right? And of course, I'm terrible at beatboxing, but that big giant beat is what like kept the whole thing going.
Right.
Not unlike the disco beat in Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, right? Or duh, Queen, Another One Bites the
Oh
Dust,
yeah.
right? Another one bites the dust. Or what's their other huge hit too?
Oh, We Will Rock You. Yeah,
We will. Right. I don't want to get claims. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? Like, so it's sort of like the big beat in that sort of reminded me of like one of those big beats in those other kind of songs like that. And I don't know. I really enjoyed that. What'd you think, bud?
I thought that was very cool. Whenever it started, I was like kind of like you said, this is not the typical Linkin Park canon type song, but that's cool. I work with a teacher, and she is a huge Linkin Park fan, and I'm not that knowledgeable of the band. I just remember when they came out. I was teaching, and it was back when play the radio in the classroom while students are working and stuff. When I heard them announce Linkin Park was going to come on, I was like, "Oh, cool! I finally get to hear them." And some of the kids are like, "Oh, finally, Walz, you get to hear these bands." And I just didn't really. I was like, "Oh man, this is." I don't know. I wanted something slightly different than what I was expecting. But anyway, so anytime I encounter Linkin Park, I always kind of relive that sense of, am I going to like this? Am I going to not like this? And this, because it was so different, I always like it when bands try to expand their sound, and I know that's always points, and I think of like 21 Pilots, how they've went through like 3 or so different main phases. And anytime a band switches like that, some of their original fans are going to be disappointed, but then they get new fans. And that's something people always forget in fandoms, that, artists do need to reinvent themselves and try something new, because if not, it can get so boring. Kind of like, talking about playing blues. I mean, you can only play like 1 5 4 1 5 4 1, so many times in your life, and so many keys before you just don't want to do it. So you have to figure out something from the artist side to do that, to make it interesting. I like how the guitar kind of came in, and it was more like a noise effect. It made me think of Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine, and it was, an interesting use of guitar. And that's something I always look at, how can you make the guitar seem kind of fresh, and especially a band that, was branded new metal. And it seems like so many of those bands wanted to escape that branding after a couple of years. And speaking of which, did you see that Limp Bizkit is making a huge comeback?
No, I didn't actually. No, I actually saw Guns N' Roses has a new song out too.
That's
Just like
funny.
this weekend too. Yeah.
Yeah, at Lollapalooza, Limp Bizkit, they said it's the band no one wanted to see, but it was the band that rocked the most at Lollapalooza. Fred Durst comes out, he's looking like this dad in his 50s. He's got like this wavy gray hair wig thing, and a stupid mustache. And of course, the guitar players always dress as weird anyway, but they came out and just slayed in every sense of the word. And everyone was like, who knew Limp Bizkit still had this in them? So good
Why
for them.
not? Yeah. Of the rap rock groups from that era, my favorite is Rage Against the Machine. All
Yeah.
of them. Of all of them. That was the one that I really liked. So, talk about some Tom Morello. I'm all there.
Yeah.
All right. So, without further ado, I've been waiting to share the lovely Gabriela Quevedo with you for some time, and I was
Awesome.
waiting. This is the perfect collaboration. Josephine Alexandra featuring Gabriela Quevedo. Anything you want to say about this before we mash the play button?
Oh, I'm excited. I always love Josephine's playing. She's so masterful.
Yeah, and obviously, putting them in the same video, you realize the bar has to be set pretty high for Gabriela.
Oh, yeah.
Being in the same video with Josephine Alexandra. I'm
Definitely.
really excited about this. Anything else?
Oh, no. Let's do it.
So without further ado, music teacher and Kyle Walz react to Linkin Park, Waiting for the End, guitar cover. Josephine Alexandra featuring Gabriela Quevedo. Here we go! That was so epic, man.
That reverb and smile at the end, that was just the best ending. That was just,
That was so incredible, dude. I just I just love the way Josephine did that beat. And then she had that little deep, 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 deep. She was doing that too somehow.
yeah.
A little keyboardy thing. Oh man. And then, Gabriella just played that melody just so smooth and sweet in there. And they were just so synced up. She would do those little expressive strums in between. And the mix was just gorgeous. It was just flawless. Perfect, 24 karat gold, man. That was incredible. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. As I was listening,
say it's better than the original, but damn it, it totally was, man. That video deserves millions of views, guys.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah, that was talking about if it was like the original song. It seemed like an entirely different song, and even just hearing the original, first time hearing that one, and then hearing this, even though the melody was fresh, it still seemed like something entirely different. And that's really cool to transform, melody and chords like that. I liked how they played off each other. I was guessing, just by, it seems like Josephine is located in Indonesia. And I was guessing Gabriela Quevedo is not in Indonesia based on her name. Sorry if that's a stupid, deduction to make.
I've just enjoyed her guitar playing. I have not really done any research. I apologize to any Gabriela 97 fans.
Yeah. And I was curious wondering if they would be in the same room. I was expecting them not to be. And playing off a video like that, in other words, tracking in such an isolated manner. I assume Josephine probably did her part first, since there was the beat.
That makes sense, really.
Yeah.
Because as somebody who does multi-track recording, right? When you start off with nothing but your click track, right? Generally, you want to put down some kind of a rhythm track or some kind of a loop that'll, maybe even if it's just a drum loop that you don't keep, just something to kind of keep everybody together.
Right.
And so if you started out with just it wouldn't have worked, right? But you start out with that whatever that works. Right. I agree with you.
Yeah,
long giant way of saying I agree with you.
Cool. And you were talking about Josephine's technique. I found out through a commenter. So, if this happens to be wrong, I'll take partial blame for it. Josephine, okay, it's not the word. Sponsor isn't the correct word. She's a Yamaha Indonesia guitar player. Because I commented before that she plays a Yamaha, and I kept trying to look in this video. It seemed to be the same guitar that she usually uses. It didn't, the way it was edited to fit them both on the screen, I couldn't really, confirm. But those Yamaha guitars, they have a hybrid pickup and mic inside of them. So it makes them extremely well suited for, fingerstyle playing like that, where you're tapping on the soundboard or thumping it, with your wrist or whatnot, and that's really cool to see that, musicians, because people, I get a lot of criticism when I mention money and music, because people think, oh, you make music, you just do it for fun. Why make money? It's like, I can't eat free. Granted, I have a day job and stuff, but it's like, I'm not going to drive 6 hours and play, just, for nothing, just for the joy of playing. Yeah. Am I going to enjoy playing? Yeah. But the enjoyment of playing and, trying to make it worthwhile is entirely different. And getting back to Josephine, knowing that she has some, sponsorship, she's, working in the business aspects too, and her talents are feeding her. That's cool. That's always great to see, musicians be able to make solid movement forward in that aspect, because that's something so difficult. I happened to look up Gabriela Quevedo, and she's actually Swedish.
Cool.
Yeah, because I was of course looking at her Taylor, and I was thinking, since we're talking about, the price of a Leaps guitar, it's like, oh, that's probably near $2,000 or so, for that model of Taylor. I was surprised it didn't have nylon strings. Usually that headstock is a giveaway. And I kept watching real close. But yeah, she had steel strings on there. Because especially when she started, it looked like she was using a pick at first. I was like, oh, me and nylon strings and picks, like, don't do it. Don't do it. But she didn't. So
well, and it's nice that her style is different,
Oh yeah.
and they complemented each other so nicely. Definitely subscribe, guys, to Gabriela 9797. Definitely subscribe to Josephine Alexandra. Incredible players, man. Like I said, the first time I saw that thumbnail, the very first thing I saw that, my thought popped to Kyle Walz.
It's funny thinking back to guitar players.
Yeah.
For me personally, there are guitar players that I don't know a whole lot about, but I've just heard snippets that the weight of this little clip carried me through years of motivation. And the guitar player that did that the most is Michael Schenker. His brother Rudolph in the Scorpions, but Michael, there's a song Captain Nemo. And when I was a kid, the classic rock station here in St. Louis from like 80 to, I don't know, sometime in the late 80s, I moved away, so I don't know for sure. On Monday, they'd have Monday Night Metal. And of course, it's kind of like the classic rock version. And in 1980, 81, you didn't have Metallica. You didn't have, Norwegian black metal or something like that. So it was a different framework for metal. You might hear Venom or Saxon or something like that. But anyway, I used to tape it because it would start at 10, and that's when I was supposed to be in bed. Most of the time I'd stay up late. But you get those 90-minute cassettes. And so I stick in a 90 minutes. So I get to listen, for the next week, 90 minutes worth of the show. And right before the tape cut off, they started Michael Schenker's Captain Nemo. And the beginning of that song just captured my imagination like not much else did back then. And it was like, it just blew my mind. I drove my brother crazy. It's like, can you get this album? Do you have this album? I need to hear the rest of the song. And it wasn't until like a few years ago I thought of it and looked it up on YouTube. And of course, in Kyle's style, I heard the whole thing. I was like, why did I like this? I don't really care for this because my taste changed so much over time. But still, I remember that fascination.
Man, yeah. Kyle, this has been so much fun having you today.
Good times,
as
man.
Always, today was just it was nice. It was just you and me. Last Tuesday, it was just me and Sarah. It's nice every once in a while. It's cool to just kind of go back to basics, and just because this is how we started here. Me and Kyle, me and Sarah. I really appreciate you guys all being here with us through this crazy journey we're doing, guys. You would think that reaction videos that get 30K, 50K views, you'd think I'd be seeing some money from that, right? Wrong. No, seriously, guys. YouTube takes 85% of the ad money because of copyrights. What that means is instead of getting $200 to $300 a month, which is pathetic in ad revenue, I'm getting $30 a month. I'm getting a freaking $1 a day from YouTube. That's what they're paying me for 24,000 subscribers, 200,000 to 300,000 views every month since March, and they're paying me $30, dude. I hate to be like begging, but if I'm going to continue doing this and doing all these awesome streams and buying gear to sound top notch and all this, I need your help, yo. I need your help. I'm pointing at you. The one watching this right now, please help me. You can help. Patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio. You get a bonus video every single week. This week's bonus video is my reaction to Alip Ba Ta's cover of Leaving on a Jet Plane, John Denver. You don't want to miss this. You can only get it on Patreon. There's a little preview you can see on YouTube, but it's like less than a minute. You want the whole video, you got to go to patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio. Also, you can support me on liberapay.com/Matthews Music, the nonprofit. They don't take a cut. They just give me money, and I just have to pay for the processing, and that's it. So if you want to support the studio weekly, I'm trying to get to a goal of $100 a week from LiberaPay. Start me off on that goal, please. I really appreciate it. Also, you can buy me a coffee, literally, for my stream tomorrow. buymeacoffee.com/Matthews Music. You can Venmo me a tip right now at Matthews Music. Okay, guys, all the wonderful ways you can support the channel. You can also do a super chat right now. Right at the bottom, next to the send chat, there should be a little $sign. Click on that, send me $1 right now, and your chat will go first. Everybody that's chatted, I'm going to respond to you, give you all a shout out at the end here after Mr. Kyle hits the road. Make sure you go to Kyle Walz' YouTube channel and subscribe. Check out Kyle's music on all major streaming platforms. And if you want to buy it, go to kylewalz.com and get his incredible music. Also, go to Instagram. And he's All right. I'll see y'all next time on The Sound Live. Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, man.